Shout out.
Yeah. Should give like some Facebook.
You settle down.
This feed, by the way, is blocked from Jalen Ramsey. He's not allowed to watch. That's what I'm saying.
More than welcome. What do you got, Beefer?
We encourage the Googans, first and foremost, to share their takes on the text line driven by Duval Ford, 641-1010. One lucky Googan will be selected at random and will receive a pair of tickets for the September 30th concert down at Daly's Place featuring Darius Rucker.
Wow. It's going to be a good one.
Don't miss it. Brooks is excited. She's got Rucker feet.
Don't forget Friday, bump music of my man Mraz.
Jason Mraz.
Yeah.
Mraz.
That way I'll know some of his songs before I go Friday.
Yes. But the question, I have to ask it because it's front of mind. It's even front page on ESPN.com.
All right.
Shifting away from the Jaguars for a day as they head up to Minneapolis. Joint practices resume today. But last night he did it again, guys. I don't mean to throw salt in the wound here, Dan, but
he doesn't care. He loves him too.
The world seems to have
Ronald
Acuna fever right now.
Oh, jeez.
And the Braves are hot.
This is the WTF question.
It really is.
It's a hot topic. People are talking.
I didn't know.
Acuna's got homers in 5 straight games, or 8 straight games.
Uh-huh. No, 8 and 7 games.
8 in their last 8 games. 5 straight games.
Okay.
And 3 straight leadoff homers for Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this guy every bit the superstar that he's being made out to be at a very ripe old age of 20?
Would you like me to handle this, Dan, or you
Fire
can weigh
away.
in first? No, look, I mean, he's off to a great start, and it's awesome when you have a prospect live up to it. It doesn't always work that way. I mean, we know that very well. There have been plenty of prospects come along that you expect big things from, and they just can't make the transition. So, what he's doing at the age, and you know what, too? He doesn't have a lot of there's not a hole in his swing. There's not a lot of time there's a but with these young guys. Yeah, but he's going to have to get better at this. But, yeah, he's going to have to do that. I mean, I don't know, of all the baseball I've watched, I've never seen a more impressive debut by a Braves prospect. I mean, there's been no growth.
Listen, here's the thing. For Atlanta Braves fans, it's fun again. I mean, it hasn't been fun in a long time. And so to be able to get excited, I mean, I got it in 15 and 16. It's awesome. There's nothing better than watching your baseball team in August in a pennant race. And also with the knowledge, although things change so quickly, you think they're going to be good for a long time. They got a ton of prospects, and you always think that. And somebody has a disappointing year, or somebody does, and it can change. It can change quickly, but it looks like they're built to last. So we'll see. But they certainly did hit on him, and Albies are 2 really good baseball players who, if I were the Braves, I'd go Tampa Bay on them and try to Longoria deal with them right now and sign them for 6 years and whatever, and not have to worry about anything. So,
I can tell you
it's an impressive run, and I guess the Rookie of the Year talk will have to start, right? Are they?
It's got to be.
You would think so.
I think it would be him in a landslide if it were today.
Nobody's even mentioned him, and now they'll
only played 67 games.
Yeah,
but Soto hasn't played a ton either.
So that makes no sense. So I would expect that to crank up here as well.
Jeff, quick question: I heard you say he's only the second, or could be the second guy to hit the 4 leadoff home runs. Who's the guy that has done it?
Well,
to lead off a game with a home run.
Brady Anderson did it 3 straight games. He's the same. The guy who did it 4th is like pre-1900.
So
it would already be.
Okay. So modern era.
Yeah.
He could be the first.
Well,
one.
and he's the youngest player to hit home runs in 5 consecutive games. He's the youngest player, and he's the youngest player with 42 total bases and 8. I mean, there's a number.
Did you see the maybe not so surprising roster move by the Marlins? They actually have signed 50 Cent to pitch to Acuna tonight.
Nice.
And his leadoff.
I'll take it. Just keep it going.
When he leads
off.
He
has 8 home runs in his past 8 games.
No, you don't get it. You won't take it. 50 Cent.
Oh, because he can't throw. I got you. Yeah.
I saw that Lewis Brinson, who was supposed to be really good for the Marlins, is right now playing for the playing for the Jumbo Shrimp. I mean,
rehabbing. He was hurt.
So he was hurt. Okay.
Yeah. Now, but he has not had it. He's hitting 180 something. The Marlins. You always got to be careful with these kids because he probably will be a very good player. But the wear and tear mentally of going through a season like that for someone who probably has never done that in their career can sometimes be devastating. So it's a fine line you have to balance with keeping them up, sending them down when they don't deliver at the big league level. And he was very raw. He's a great athlete, but very raw in terms of baseball. And now just kind of learning, and he's I think he has 10 home runs and 30 RBI, but he pretty much has played the entire season for the Marlins. Very good defensively, extremely fast, but you got to put the ball in play, and it's not as easy as it looks.
Back to
that's why you get excited about a 20-year-old who's doing things that
he's just getting
seasoned
better.
veterans.
Well,
don't
and that's
do.
the thing with Acuna. He's getting better as the season goes on, and the bat is so fast, and he's hitting balls as hard. Like Stanton's the only guy hitting the ball harder than Acuna this year. If you look at his home runs, the exit velocity, and some of those things they're looking at. But one other thing that I can really appreciate about him, especially here lately, think back where the Braves were coming out of the All-Star break. The Braves were in a slump. I mean, at one point they lost 12 of 17 games.
Yeah, they were like
and this resurgence has coincided exactly with since the All-Star break. This kid hitting 400.
Maybe he'll be the MVP.
400. He won't be the MVP, but he's hitting 400 with 10 home runs since then.
Uh-huh.
And something else that has happened since, especially in this last stretch. Now he had some, you don't want to say meaningless, but less important home runs early in the year. But this little stretch here. I mean, he's hitting home runs when they're down a run in the eighth, or they need a run, or they're scoreless, leading off games. His home runs have been impactful. Like, about the last 10 of them have, either given him a lead or extended a lead or tied a game. So, there's not a player. I had this conversation with my son. I'm not sure I'd trade him for anything, dude. If the Angels called me right now and said, I'll give you Mike Trout for Acuna, I'm not sure I would make the deal. Now, he's not as good as Mike Trout right now. I'm not saying that. But I don't think I'd make that deal. And if you're willing to say that, and I'm not saying it flippantly, then that gives you an idea of, the level of star, a level of star the Braves have not had, really since Chipper.
Right. Yeah,
but
you
there's a
found
long
one.
way
You
to
want
go.
to build around him. You want to keep him. You want to hug his neck.
Well, and Albies has been every bit as good too. He's just been doing it all year, so you don't notice. But he's not a power hitter. He's not supposed to hit 40 like Acuna looks like he will.
Right. One other interesting baseball note I thought is the boy. Thank God you're not a Dodgers fan. If you're a Dodgers fan, you want to put forks in your eyeballs, because not one, not two, not three, 4 nights in a row
they've blown the lead.
They've lost the game in the 9th inning where they were leading or tied.
I'm rooting against them, by the way. I know we have a bet on whether or not they can win.
Yeah, I said they weren't going to win,
but I am rooting against them. They
still might win. I mean, you don't want to play them. That's why you're rooting against.
Probably.
You'd rather play.
No, but this was aside from that. I was just watching the highlights this morning. And I just don't like the Dodgers. I never have. I don't like the fact that they went. I would like to see them go get Manny Machado and miss the postseason. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah. Nice move.
And Dozier. They got 2 of those guys. But if you don't have a bullpen, Kenley Jansen went out 5 games ago, and he's got an irregular heartbeat. He's going to miss a month, and this is the.
It may cost him.
It may cost him. They cannot hold a lead. And the Rockies got him twice, and now the Giants have gotten him twice.
And the Giants have pulled within 4 or 5 games.
Giants are 5 out. You wonder.
I think of watching all those teams.
The Brewers have hung around with the Cubs all season.
Beat them yesterday again.
And the Cubs correct me if I'm wrong. Haven't the Cubs owned the Brewers all year? Didn't they beat them like 6-7 in a row at one point, or no?
It's been back and forth.
Yeah, I think
it has?
Milwaukee won
this
some of the
year
early
it
ones.
has.
I'm missing that one.
Quietly, also, by the way, the Braves just a game back of the Cubs for the best record in the National League.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
the
what happens
NL's
when
tight.
you win 5 or 6 in a row.
All bunched up.
And my most favorite player on my least favorite team, and so I feel for Murphy. I'm sorry, Daniel, but I love seeing your team just doing the backstroke in the sewer down there. Way to nat up. You guys have been so impressive through the years, and absolutely faltering and choking that I can't be more happy to see my team rise while yours falls. You guys are an embarrassment to sport. You are. That team is way too good.
I don't like when I ask. I wasn't even listening to you. I don't like you to talk about Murphy, but I don't like when I ask Beef a Cubs question, and then I look and the Cubs were 7-1 against the Brewers, and he tells me it's back and forth.
I recall them playing us tough.
Is that all year?
First 8 games, they were 7-1.
They've only played 8 times this year?
They've played more. Well, okay, the Brewers have won the last 3.
Yeah, so they're pretty. Yeah.
That's why you recall it.
Yes.
But because I remember the Cubs beating them twice.
Early on.
Okay. All right.
The Brewers, by the way, are pretty good. And they made some moves.
They are good. They got Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich.
They added Moustakas.
What's the
Aguilar
guy?
is a star.
Is having a big year, so yeah.
Yeah,
they're not bad, and they got a great.
Their
they got a
starting
great
pitching isn't
bullpen.
good. Though. Yeah, but
they
they're
got a great bullpen.
And the bullpen, the Brewers scuffled here. Well, the Cubs kind of turned them around, but they've been
Chacin is
losing.
12-4 for the Brewers.
You know, that's former Brave.
Oof.
We traded him. Yeah.
Oh. Well, anyway, it'll be interesting. So it sets up nicely, but yeah, the Braves. If you're a Braves fan, it's fun again, and enjoy your.
The Braves are one step away, and they remind you of the Astros' rise and the Cubs' rise as far as how they did it. You know, so and those teams have, you know, maintained. I think the Braves will maintain. I do. I mean, you're right. Anything can happen. You don't take anything for granted, but. With a lot of young arms down and other prospects, but the Braves really need a Scherzer or a Sale or they need an Ace or DeGrom.
I have a pet peeve with baseball media, and I want to throw this out there, and I've seen it now happen on 3 different occasions.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think baseball media has to work really hard.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Well, then you can comment on this because I've noticed this, and again, a lot of people don't watch baseball like we watch baseball. We watch our teams every night. I'm sick. I'm still watching the Mets, and I don't know why, but it drives me crazy. But anyway, I'm watching my guy McNeil get his at-bats and Rosario. And
that's why you do
DeGrom
it. I've done it the last few years.
So anyway, but I've noticed this with the media guys, the guys who do the games. Why do they get vacation during the season?
Are you talking about the
announcers?
The team announcers?
Yeah. Why do they get vacation? Because here's my question. You're freaking off from the end of September. So you're off October, November,
Unless your team's
December,
in the postseason.
January, February. You go down to spring training in March. That's 5 months. And so for 7 months, you need to take a week off here and there.
Do they take weeks? I mean,
I thought they only took a game off.
No, I've seen them take like.
I'm sure
I've
most
seen,
of it are like
like
graduations or weddings or stuff they got to go to in the
Yeah,
summer.
I would suspect
that's
that
probably
would
what
be
it
it.
is. I doubt they're like
But I see
going
them.
to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Now, some of them, too, that's their deal. Like the Hernandezes of the world are never going to do 162.
Yeah, those guys I get.
You mean like the main play-by-play
Yeah,
guy?
like the
See, my guys doesn't. I mean, Chip doesn't skip.
I saw the Marlins guy was off during the Mets series. I saw because
I would guess it's more like those
Minervini
kinds
did
of
it.
things.
I saw my Mets guy's taking at least
Cohen?
two. Cohen's taking at least 2 series.
Who calls
off.
when he's gone?
Randazzo.
I don't know him.
He's a
Local.
guy up there.
All right.
But anyway, I've always thought that.
that
I go,
has
wait a minute.
My
It's
guys haven't
October.
taken any time
I
off.
meant more the guys that cover the baseball
Yes.
teams. They don't take any time off.
Usually not, but they.
Yeah.
In fairness, if
there were a sport
if
you
your
could-
daughter's getting married,
Yeah.
you're going to take off.
And by the way, if you're covering, if there's any sport you could take some days off, it would be baseball.
The Mets had a.
Because there's so many
Also,
games.
their daughter don't get married during baseball
Well, yeah.
season. If
The
you're
Mets
gonna have
had-
their
had-
Then it's football
baseball.
season.
The
though.
engineer for the Mets broadcasts set a Ripken-like streak this year in terms of hasn't missed a game since
Consecutive,
like
yeah.
1986 or something. Some
Yeah.
incredible run that he had. So, and he talked about. They did stories on him. It was kind of fun to watch. But anyway,
All right.
in other news, I'll be taking off October. This
yes,
year. I don't know
and
if
I'll-
I've got
and
that
I'll-
to you.
And I'll be
during
out
football season.
in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good. Sounds like a plan. I love when a plan comes together.
It's coming
That's
together.
yeah. There you go. That's our take. What's yours? You can hit us up on the text line. We'll step aside on a Freedom.
Is Acuna good?
This just in. It's Freedom
Apparently
Club
so.
Wednesday. We'll see what's trending
You
and
make the
more
call.
next.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.